So now I'd like to talk about a number of key immune and cleansing tools that can be used both during the cleanse and after the cleanse. These are products and tools that I just recommend, some of my favorite tools that I use in my life. So the first thing is ionized water. And this is an important topic. There's a lot of controversy out there or talk about different types of water. I am a lover of my ionized water machine. But one thing that's really important is that most people, when they talk about ionized water, they talk about it in terms of pH, like the pH is the most important aspect. The most important aspect of ionized water is that it's negatively electrically charged. That means it has a negative ORP, oxidative reduction potential, which means the water acts as an antioxidant. It's a very powerful antioxidant, which is really why it's very powerful and nutritious. If you were to juice a carrot and measure its ORP, it would be about minus 250. That means it has an electrical charge on it. It has vital life energy in it. Now, if you let that carrot juice sit for a number of days, even in the fridge, it will develop a positive ORP. It will oxidize. It will not have the same life energy in it. Negatively charged water from an ionized machine has those negative electrons, which have very powerful detoxing effects. The water is much more soluble. It gets into the cells much more effectively, which helps with detoxification, which is what we're really talking about here. So it's very powerful. And these systems, they range anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000 or $5,000. And a lot of them are very, very high quality. And if anyone's interested, they can go to our website and learn more about that. The other thing that I'm really, really into is the FarInfrared Biomat products. The Biomat is a mat that emits negative ions, similar to the water, and far infrared frequencies and heat. And what this does, it acts like a mini sauna, far infrared sauna. In fact, they're more effective than a far infrared sauna. And by emitting these frequencies of heat and light into the body that penetrate about 7 or 8 inches into the body, it helps with cellular communication, cellular detoxification, and helps to balance the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. So these are very, very powerful devices. You can also get a far-infrared sauna. And the far-infrared, again, is very nice because they penetrate very deeply into the body and they don't require as much external heat. Far-infrared saunas are wonderful, but looking at both, I would definitely go with a Biomat because they're less expensive and they're much easier to use. You don't need to have a whole separate part of your house. You can just put it on a bed or a floor and use it that way. Colonics and enemas are also very effective. During a cleanse, I do recommend people using colonics and enemas. One thing that's important is some people can get a little bit overly dependent on them, and that will decrease the peristalsis of your intestines and weaken your digestion over time. So just use them mindfully and cautiously. But a colonic and an enema can be extremely effective and helpful, especially when cleansing. Ongoing herbal supplementation. That's really an individual thing, but all of the products during the cleanse that we're using during the cleanse, except for perhaps the Dysbio GI, can be used on an ongoing basis for quite a long time. There's another video that we explain all the different products, but each and every one of them used on a consistent basis can be very, very helpful. Seasonal living and eating. Learning to eat according to the season and cleansing twice a year is really, really important. Ayurveda says in the spring and the fall is most important. I also do cleanses in the summer and the winter because in the winter, that's when most people are suffering with immune system issues, and they've also gone through Halloween, they've gone through Thanksgiving, they've gone through Christmas, they've gone through New Year's, and their diets are shot. They've had way too much sugar, way too much dairy, way too much alcohol, and by January comes, many people are a mess, and they're just a target for those viruses that are floating around this time of year, that time of year. So these are some key immune and cleansing tools.